We mentioned it during the picks and bans, though, that this game number 1 was very execution heavy. As we head into picks and bans number 2, I think that might be something that Manticores are looking at to sort of give themselves some wiggle room in the strategy department.
Faeles was also left with nothing but scraps. Starting around that 11-minute mark onwards, Baskin and Benji were just all over that solo side jungle. And when half the map is already being so heavily restricted for you, as a Susano, you're not really flourishing during that early stages. You need that mid-game to really start finding your stride. And unfortunately for Faeles, in this particular instance, he just did not have the backup that he needed to help confirm those buffs, to help confirm that experience. And then fineokay were doing their best given the situation. It's just that sometimes you just get shut out.
Yeah, you're just not able to really do what you have to do because the enemy team too coordinated. I think that was a really big key of how Titan was able to get their victory. Manticores, they're going to keep the first pick selection. And they're going to go with the Athena, taking that away from JeffHindla. He looked fantastic. The taunts, the global initiation, everything that came with Athena came with JeffHindla. Bans, taking a look at them, Chernobog is available if that's what we want to see Funball play.
I really like that Manticores prioritize the Athena. You're not only taking that away from Jeff, but Callis, also fantastic Athena. I think this is one of the original gods that really started putting Rival on the radar because it's always the support that's overlooked in the end, but you need that setup. It's so pivotal for a lot of these compositions, and I think Wlfy, especially knowing that he's got Callis on this Athena, really opens up which direction he can take that mid lane in.
Chernobog will be the choice, whether that's in the hands of Zyrhoes or Funball, we have yet to see. I would expect to see it in the hands of Funball, especially when you pick the Thoth. This is Zyrhoes to a T, so we'll see how Titan work with Zyrhoes on the Thoth guy.
Zyrhoes really values Thoth also. He loves this god, thinks that the range is great for executing a lot of more precision type plays.
Oh yeah.
This is Zyrhoes' god to a T, because if there's anybody who's going to have some finesse, it'll be Zyrhoes.
Exactly. Watching him just run games on this character is really fun. Hopefully we get a chance to see it here, although it will be a tall task with Ratatoskr in the hands of Faeles, and Artemis going to be the hunter of choice there. So some powerful gods on the side of Manticores as well.
It almost feels like these first 3 picks from Manticores are specifically to try and handle the Chernobog and ensure that this is not a pick selection that Funballer gets to have a very fun time with. It's not very often that you get to see Chernobog slip through, but with the concerns of letting Freya, I just don't want to take any of those chances. I like that there's going to be semi-global pressure from the Ratatoskr through the Cosmos, always keeping enemies on like edge, because you never know if you're going to get ulted on and collapsed on.
Yep.
And if there's going to be a Defender of Olympus with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be one of the scary combinations that Manticores have at their disposal. Titans on the clock, looking for their 3rd choice.
With the Hunter having been locked in for both sides, I kind of want to see Titans take their Guardian selection here. Otherwise, they might risk losing an ideal support pick here for Jeff. That could possibly just be a case that Jeff isn't too concerned about, however, being such a seasoned pro player by now here in Season 5. But it seems like they're going to keep on just adding on and instead lock away that jungle, wanting to make sure they get a strong matchup for this Ratatoskr.
Yeah, excuse me. I do like the Ravana a lot. I think that what Ravana's able to do as far as offensive and defensive, he's able to chase you down, sure, but there's also peel potential. I know that he's an assassin now, not a warrior, but he still has the slow, he still has the root, certainly a lot of peel potential, and in addition, he can just dive the back line should Thoth not be able to reach.
Not as freely as what he used to ever. Like you said, with that change up to the assassin now, doesn't have those same sort of warrior-based stats, doesn't have the same level of protections that he might have held originally, and as a result, if Ravana does decide to try and commit time and time again on some of those deeper dives, Ratatoskr can very easily look for the counter engagement here, and that's kind of what I'm expecting to see more so out of Manticores. Titans look like the initiating team to me. They look like the team that are going to be seeking out the fight after this game hits around the 15-minute mark. But Manticores, I kind of just want to see them take it easy, focus on their farm, focus on maintaining their own steady map pressure, if not matching that of Titans, and then look for heavy counter-engaged moments, because with the Ratatoskr Athena alone, you have so much counterplay potential.
Yeah, I'd like to see Manticores in the early and mid-game really be the aggressors. Athena, Ratatoskr, you mentioned the combo there. I mean, this is an aggressive combination that can gank kind of whatever lane they want, Sylvanas being the final ban here in game number 2. So I want to see them be aggressive in the early and mid-game, but you're right, as the game gets later and later, it's up to Manticores to just tell Titan, come to us, and see what we can handle. Zhong in the hands of Benji.
There's some of those protections that I think Titans were desperately in need of, and I'm still not completely sold on this comp just yet. Maybe round it off with a pick like Geb.
Yeah.
That would hinder the duo lane just a little bit. However, because as Chernobog, you typically want to be out in front trying to be the initial aggressor. Not as likely if you have a more passive early game support like Geb. It's just that the late game and mid game potential even with a Geb here could be very strong. I also feel as though a Khepri could possibly be in the works here for Titans.
That's
not
true.
a pick that we've seen from JeffHindla in quite some time, but the bug has had some moments of resurfacing.
Real strong draft here from Manticores. Chulainn will be fineokay's choice, and Cerberus will be JeffHindla's. Agni making his way into the mid lane for Wlfy. A lot of control here for Manticores. You got the taunt, you got Ratatoskr and everything he does. Even Artemis has the slow, the bore, the trap. Agni's got long range stuns. Chulainn's going to be in the middle of everybody. I'm loving Manticore's draft right now, Taco.
I love Manticore's draft, but I like Titans even more.
Yeah.
The Cerberus pick, it gives everything that we were just looking for, that I was looking for at least in terms of peel and protections, but he also does damage, and that's kind of the bottom line here for every member of Titans, is that they all have their own little specialty components, but at the end of the day, these guys just flat out deal damage.
Yeah, they're just really strong. Zhong is going to be able to deal a ton of AoE damage, and that's really where Manticore's reinitiation comp comes into play that we were talking about. Set somebody up with either Agni and Athena, I don't care who you're setting them up with, let Zhong pop the ultimate and then run away. And then come back and restart the fight. That's what you want to see Manticores doing here. They're certainly looking for the all-out win. Titan, on the other hand, their job is to just kill everybody before Manticores have a chance to really re-engage.
It's not going to be an easy task trying to protect this Artemis all the time, though. There's so much extended range from Titans that's provided because of the Thoth. You've got Ravana with the Mystic Rush, all-in dive potential. Zhong, we all know what Zhong does. It just presses forward and runs around the map, and everybody tries to scatter.
Or spacebar, you know?
Or spacebar.
He ults. That's what he does. We've got game 2 on the way. Hindu and Toli, take us away.
Thanks, guys. Let's get into this one. I'm just about the Cerberus pick. I expected kind of a Geb in this situation. I think Taco was right on that, honestly.
So it's a never-ending battle for supports to figure out, do you want to go more defensive or offensive?
Sure.
Geb, you're giving up a lot of laning phase by doing that.
You're
and
right.
I think Funballer's intentions is to be aggressive, and you're not going to be getting that aggression with a Geb support. And that's, we saw what Jeff was able to do yesterday against us. So I'm not going to be surprised to see him even step it up further in this game.
Early wave clear, definitely an advantage for Cerberus, a little bit more so than the Athena, just because a little bit more range, I guess, as well. And you've also got that threat of the CC if required, too. We'll find out how this one begins, though, at the beginning. Once again, though, Titans played it relatively safe here at the beginning. Manticores were more defensive themselves in game 1. We're still going to be first pick here. The Manticores have got a big uphill battle after game 1. Going to win 2 in a row here now. And Callus just telegraphing that he's got his dash in this laning phase.
Definitely not unheard of to be able to win 2 games in a row, and a lot of these players on Manticores have done so in their previous past. Getting a good edge thus far in the dual lane, and the one advantage I gotta give to Manticores is their global presence. This Athena, but she might not even get there if she takes an early tumble like that.
Talking about Callus as well, they go for the usual Sunder beginning. It's going to be an upgraded Sunder at the start of the game. The Athena players really into that now since Callus did it, but now they're trying to secure their own purple and managed to do so. Jeff, though, gets a good stun off onto Callus again, keeping him below half health.
Still a lot of damage. Good results there for Titans after winning that first game. Rather convincingly, about 20, almost 21 minutes into the game, 65%.
Manticores really up against it here then at the moment, but the composition going into the later game again is going to be very solid when they get to the team fight stage. So tuning with fineokay, who's just going to hit level 2, and Wlfy and Faeles in the mid lane get a bit of pressure for the time being up against this Ravana on the top.
I think Manticores learned their lesson with how much global pressure was hurting fineokay with the Athena, that he wanted some for himself, and that could be the plan out of Manticores, is to sit in Benji's lane, not allow the Zhong a lot of farming opportunities, because knowing Zhong or knowing Benji, he might go for the Warlock staff, and if that's going to be an option, then you can't let him stack that freely.
Baskin played the Ravana in this game, and we saw it a little bit earlier on today too, but this is one of the most recent patches since he became an assassin now.
Sure.
So a little bit more damage, a little less survivability though in tank stats.
Yeah, you're going to be receiving less health, but honestly, the whole Ravana jungle situation is all about killing them first before you die anyway, so it's actually better for him now, I think, than anything, because you might kill them before they get to the tower line.
Faeles going to be rotating around to this right-hand side, and fineokay transforms into the beautiful opportunity. First blood to the Manticores. There we go, as Jeff now being pressured by Callus and Panda.
Didn't really need the assistance of Faeles there. Great root from fineokay upon the transformation. Being able to juggle your rage is difficult, but it's even more difficult for the opponents to really understand when you're going to transform, how much rage you're actually generating. You're getting about, I want to say, 15 to 20% of your rage meter if you can hit 3 targets with the barbed spear or the salmon leaf. So about 4 abilities, maybe 5 total, and that's when you're going to see the transformation.
And fineokay now just a little bit further ahead than Benji in this lane. Both players did teleport straight back to lane after that little first blood there to make sure they can try and keep the advantage going or not lose too much farm. Blue buff spawn. Faeles is here to help out fineokay with that one for the time being, as Wlfy's dead and left harpies. Once again, Jeff and Funballer going aggressive in the jungle.
Oh, JeffHindla now could be in a little bit of trouble, as he is the one that stole away.
Oh! Big burst damage out of Wlfy. I actually thought Funballer died then for a second, but it was jumping in the wall that saved him.
Yeah.
Shadows of safety there. Sprint was used by Jeff to help his teammates out, but a very nice rotation out of Wlfy.
Wlfy this time around getting early mobility, the tier 2 boots. He understands like a little bit mobility before the Book of Thoth completion is not the end of the world. You're going to try to make those rotations, or even just for your own survival. And sometimes, at the end of the day, you don't always have to go for these invades, the purple buff, the blue buff invades. Or, at the very least, if you do steal it away with a long-range ability, respect the rotations by not trying to go pick it up. I believe Callus was using his own character model to body block the JeffHindla Cerberus for so long that just picking up the purple buff took 4 to 5 more seconds than it needed to.
A lot like game, well, set 1, I should say, between these pro players here at the eUnited Invitational. First game goes to one team, second game, well, it may go to the other, because Manticores are off to a pretty good start here. 1,000 gold at the 4-minute mark isn't nothing to scoff at, although the experience is still relatively even.
Anything can happen, honestly. The next buff invade, if Faeles oversteps, feeling too confident with his Through the Cosmos, it could be an easy comeback where Baskin can start really dictating the pacing of this game. But it's hard to really deny any sort of shutdown out of Faeles playing this Ratatoskr, having so much mobility, not having to back to base right away as he finishes off the Acorn. As a result, we're seeing a little bit more experience per minute out of him.
Interesting play from Wlfy here to go for the Aegis at the start of the game too, in my opinion. There's quite a bit of CC on the Titans here, but if he can sit far enough back in the team fights and use his dash correctly, this Aegis will probably keep him alive a little bit more so.
So there's only 2 options for mid players. It's beads or Aegis.
Right.
And if you go beads, Baskin can easily force the beads, asking the Zyrhoes, and if you don't have the Aegis to deny a lot of like the Prada Onslaught, even the Hieroglyphic Assault, Final Judgment, there's so much burst damage just between those 2 targets that getting Aegis was the better choice.
Oh, Jeff leaps away and Faeles was there, but a beautiful ult immediately. Faeles are going to beat that and keep the pressure going. Jeff is dead, and Funballer though gets the living nightmare up in time. He may come across for fineokay here to try and turn this around, and he will, you know. Benji gets the kill 1-for-1 across the map.
Oh my goodness, that knockup out of fineokay almost killed Funballer, surprisingly enough, but Funballer survives, but it's still a technical kill because he has to go back to base, and he's going to miss that whole wave entering his tier 1 tower line.
Baskin, though, maybe have to just make sure they get a couple of minions away from that so no one's going to be there in time, especially cutting off the option. Wlfy rotating from the mid lane. Done off the mark there from Wlfy, but a nice bit of poke on to Baskin, just going to keep him in check. Obviously a little bit squishier will be Ravana now, so you'll see his health bar drop a little bit more so, as we mentioned earlier on.
And this wouldn't be a bad idea to try to go for some sustain options. Gladiator Shield looks like it could be, unless he wants to go for a Void Shield potentially, but it's a little too early for that considering that Benji is a magical character instead of your traditional warrior solo laner, so could probably see shifters, maybe even Void.
So just 3-1 at the moment, just keep an eye on the item builds coming through. Mainly just boots in the early game, I should expect, between these players. A couple of world champions here, a lot of experience here, I will say. I think if you look down the list, I think there's only really Faeles that hasn't been to a world championship before, which is no discredit to him.
fineokay as well. fineokay has not been there, but he's definitely has a lot of theory craft knowledge to be able to get there. I think that CLG has potential in the future, especially when the fall split. There's going to be a lot of changes in general, like mid-season patch and whatnot, and if any team can do it, I think CLG is among the top of them to do so.
I'm just going on the Hunter builds. Funballer already got his Devour's Gauntlets online, whereas PandaCat went for the mobility. Kind of required a little bit more so on Artemis, just for that safety factor, even though he did have Callus in support, playing his famous Athena that generally gets Panda away from him in the professional games in Europe.
Using the ultimate defensively, PandaCat trying to run away, but it's not even enough time for Callus to land.
He's in the sky, looking to turn this around, going to go aggressive, just firing the ultimate onto Jeff and then walk away. Callus and Wlfy now in the area. Callus going to go in looking for the taunt. Gets pulled under the tower though, and Callus gets stunned under the tower too. Beautiful play from JeffHindla, and he deserves to get the kill credit.
And look at the disengage out of Baskin, just running away right in the nick of time, using that Mystic Rush for the damage, a little bit of damage reduction around the corner. We're seeing Zyrhoes channel that final judgment, gets away the red buff, and avoids the stun.
But Wlfy's now on the rotation too. Dash in, beads used early, stun didn't connect, neither did that bomb. Spin to win, we'll shred a couple of protections there. Basics off the mark from Wlfy, and Jeff and Funballer here on the rotation to protect.
Titans really min-maxing now every side of the map, ganking solo lane, ganking in the left lane as well. I think Callus heavily overstepped his boundaries there. This is the two different mindsets between JeffHindla and Callus, where in first game, when Jeff was playing the Athena, he goes for the beads at level 1, whereas Callus is going for the Sunter. The difference between offensive and defensive is favoring Titans now.
Nearly that trap connected there. Funballer trying to dash away, gets taunted, instant beads in response. 3-man rotation from the Manticores there, so that's going to keep Titans on the back foot in the dual lane for a moment, with both beads and the Living Nightmare being down for Funballer.
150 seconds remaining on that relic, and Manticores need to use that window to start gaining an edge. And if they find that kill, maybe they can sneak an early Gold Fury if there's a little bit of action in the solo lane.
Look at this. Look at Callus. Look at PandaCat. They're waiting around the corner for Funballer. It's a trap. The taunt is available. There it is. He can't get into the wall in time. The trap below was beautiful, as was Tusky, who's going to stand there and taunt. But JeffHindla now trying to return a bit of damage back towards him. Maybe trying to defend this purple.
Not going to be able to really strip away that, but happy with a kill. And PandaCat has been known for these kind of sneaky tactics from time to time. Benji, though, caught in a 1v3 as Faeles lands down. A nice second death now. Really abusing the Zhong Queen.
JeffHindla, they're going to go a double ultimate off again. Pulls Callus in. The focus on PandaCat, who's out of mana. Funballer jumped him with the Nightmare. Callus is just trying to get away in time. Can he do it? No! Baskin! With a double kill in the jungle. Lovely play from the Titans.
And Living Nightmare from Funballer is going to ensure that double kill definitely goes down. And what happens on the right, there's an immediate reaction on the left. This global pressure from Funballer really starting to show off now. You can find a kill, but if you're the one to die second, that favors the original death. So Funballer going to have more farming opportunities.
Wlfy going to survive there with the best use of no juke is the best juke.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because Baskin expected it there, tried to predict it, and just at the mark, so Wlfy gets to walk away. His Book of Thoth is stacking up nicely now, but Baskin's still unhappy about the situation of not finding that CC there, going aggressive, but now fineokay in a battle against 3, and he may have just bit off more than he can chew. Baskin gets the kill. Final Judgment was there for good measure.
There's just no vision on the left side of the map to see who was around the corner. It was only Baskin that blinked in originally on that tier 1 mid tower, and then all of a sudden, there goes Zyrhoes from the top side. Here comes JeffHindla on the bottom side, and then what was a 1v1 plus a couple of tower shots becomes a 1v3.
Tier 1 of the mid lane goes down, and still Benji chasing down Faeles, and the slows are too much for the little rat to escape that one. 7-5, almost 11 minutes in. And we mentioned Manticores had a 1,000 gold lead earlier on. Well, that's swung to a 2,000 lead in the Titans' favor.
Well, it's been proven here, folks, that ghosts are superior than little squirrels. So not going to be receiving any benefit there for Faeles, as he has to revive in 5 seconds, but still no objectives to really speak about. A couple of tier 1 towers for a total of 1,000 gold between middle and the solo lane. Titans slowly building a lead. It wasn't as convincing as it was in game number 1, but this is kind of where teams slow down a little bit, where they're all warmed up.
Good combo into Zyrhoes, will get his beads, and now the turnaround could be available if Baskin goes aggressive here. Bomb drops down from Wlfy, root does connect from Baskin. The dash is available to escape for now. These tier 1 towers being down, Tolly. It's opening the map up more now for Titans to get aggressive like Baskin's doing right here.
Oh, there's no exact dash out of Wlfy quite yet. There goes the Mystic Rush. I thought he was going to sit on the Path of Flames with that relic.
Fails though, comes in with the ultimate onto Baskin, which doesn't have the overhead kick. No taunt available for Callis to follow up. Living Nightmare, pop now from Funballer. Where's he going to go? Nowhere is the answer. Just going to stay around this Gold Fury. There's a couple of members Titans hanging out now.
You can really tell that Baskin, despite not playing the jungle role traditionally, really looks for these opportunities whenever there's a kill. It's all about simple of cooldowns and mechanics. All right, I forced your dash in mid lane because I hit my root. Let me just go give you a little okey-doke loop around the corner. And there wasn't really going to be a kill there necessarily until he realized, oh, okay, I'm getting a couple of basic attacks after my Prada onslaught. Let me use the Mystic Rush and try to get you down.
Honestly, though, playing different positions, and if you know mid lane and how it's played, you can work out the windows when you're strong or weak in a normal phase and know when to punish somebody, and that's exactly what's happening here. Benji walks into a danger zone here and gets bursted by Wlfy. The bombs rain down on Baskin and Jeff too. fineokay's not done yet.
My goodness, fineokay chasing down Baskin with that vent anger. A 5-on-3 now. JeffHindla extremely low. Dash taunt, or dash stun rather, from Zyrhoes, tries just to peel for himself. Might allow Manticores to get this first Gold Fury of the game.
Yeah, they'll take the red buff. Zyrhoes has no ultimate, but Funballer and Zyrhoes, the only 2 here to defend. Jeff has to return to base. Nobody else going to be available to get in here, and Callis on zone duty, trying to keep him busy, taunts them both. Zyrhoes in a lot of trouble now. Dashes to safety, he's going to have to disengage, hoping that bomb doesn't do enough damage, and it just doesn't.
Just barely walking away from death there. Funballer going south where he should be going north. He's going to get slowed and he's going to get taken out. Manticores are really starting to get back into this game after the Gold Fury, after a couple of kills. Still with a little bit of an experience deficit that they have to cover, but once they do that, they should be in the driver's seat.
One small misplay from Titans there, just getting a little bit too full of themselves, you know, a little bit too aggressive with how this game was going, and they've been punished heavily for that by the Manticores now. As Benji goes back towards the solo lane, and Titans now have to rebuild the lead they once had.
There's just more AoE control from Manticores than there is in Titans. Single target stun from Zyrhoes, single target root from Baskin. JeffHindla is going to be looking for it, but very difficult to land that paralyzing spit on multiple members, where you look at Wlfy, you look at Callis, you look at PandaCat's ultimate that's going to be ping-ponging all across a team fight. And I think Manticores are better inclined to force 4-on-4s or 5-on-5s in these jungles.
Biggest difference in the moment in experience is between the Hunters and the Junglers. Baskin 2-level lead over Faeles, 2-level lead for PandaCat over Funballer. I should say 1, as he just dings up another level as Jeff leaps away from the big rush that could have been there from Faeles. But the pressure in the mid lane with these 3 members of Manticores being here. Well, PandaCat needs to be careful because Baskin's just around the corner here. The fight is on.
The bead's being used to avoid the stun. Baskin blinks in, gets the root off. Here comes the counter gig. Mystic Rush before Defender of Olympus lands.
Funballer goes up and down, and Baskin gets himself a double kill. That was PandaCat being a bit aggressive. There was a ward there that Baskin stepped on, but I don't think PandaCat realized it on his minimap.
No, I think he did, but because he had Faeles in the sky, the issue was Callis needed to be a little bit quicker on that ultimate during the 1v1.
Wlfy gets a big old shell from Callis. Final judgment off the mark. But who you gonna call? Benji's here. to bring him down with those ghosts, and now the tier 2 is under pressure.
Good stun from Benji between the Agni bomb and then the Agni stun, not allowing that combination to roll through, which would have maybe got Benji a little bit lower with 2 additional tower shots. At the end of the day, a clean pick. He even engaged thinking that Zyrhoes was guaranteed to hit that final judgment, that maybe he could have killed Callus, but you know what? Killing Wlfy instead of just both of them still allows them to go for this tier 2 mid tower.
And the biggest thing for Titans here, Tully, is they made one big misplay that evened things up, and we're like, okay, they've got to go back to the drawing board, and that's exactly what they did. They're now back to a 4,000 gold lead almost at this stage, which means it's been swings and roundabouts so far.
We were talking about the strengths and weaknesses that Manticores has. If they keep getting isolated like they have been in the past minute, then they're not going to win this game. They need to start grouping up and using all their AoE CCs. They can't allow Baskin to make these flanking opportunity plays with the blink, and it gave him this 3-level lead that he's just dominating with. A shifter shield finish. You got the gladiator shield on top of this. Stone cutting sword on top. I think that Faeles cannot go in a 1v1 boxing encounter ever.
Well, I will say as well, I did call out a shell earlier on from Callus, which isn't even there because he's not even level 12 yet. He's just got that Sunder. That was the Book of the Dead shield, and it's something that we've not seen too much of lately. But it is back now after the mid-season with the Book of Thoth. It scales nicely, and yeah, you can see how much those shields are going to help these mages.
If you're not going to go for the Warlock staff, then Book of the Dead, not a bad hybrid item as a mid-mage player. Callus forced to use that ultimate defensively, dash away, but Benji is covering the option. The slow alone is forcing the beads.
And once again, the chase is on for Wlfy. Aegis shoes, bead shoes, life is over. In comes the living nightmare as Zyrhoes removes Callus from the map. fineokay against the whole team of the Titans. And you will remember them as they are looking good to go to the finals.
Yet again, just getting isolated. A blink out of Baskin, forcing the ultimate from PandaCat, ping-ponging that boar just a smidge. Zyrhoes slightly off the mark with that evade punish, but 3 dead Manticores means that's a free middle Phoenix.
Don't think they can end the game though, but you are right. I think this Phoenix should fall here, especially with that wall there to empower those auto attacks just a little bit stronger from some of those ranged characters. Into the jungle go Titans now, checking the speed buff, which is literally spawning in their face, and Funballer maybe need to be careful there, but the team stuck around, so that's the main thing.
Very disheartening as a jungler, knowing that your speed is getting taken and there's nothing you can do about it, because if you die, well, that's a free fire giant. You need to be alive if your name is Faeles, because through the cosmos is one of the saving graces to disrupt Fire Giant from being done safely.
Cheeky return around from Manticores trying to steal this Pyromancer away, but a lot of members of Titans didn't really recall to base there. Benji's here and the card out onto Callus to put a bit of dump damage on there. Benji going to walk towards him momentarily just to zone him away and make sure Titans continue getting these contested objectives.
About a 6,000 goal lead now as we approach almost the 19-minute mark. I think Titans are really starting to run away with this one now because the experience gap is starting to skyrocket. 7 minutes ago, this game was almost even Steven after the Gold Fury, after a couple of kills. Manticores were doing a good job on that side of the map, but it's just the whole isolation idea that Callus can't get into these team fights. Every single time he's challenging the defender of Olympus, that Baskin kills that individual target before the landing.
Gold Fury is available. The Oracle's going to get taken down first of all by Titans. Zhong still on the right-hand side with Benji, but Benji has teleport if required. He'd have to go to mid lane though, however, with it, as the Gold Fury is below half. Faeles the only one close. Did have the blink available, but I like the idea of not trying to risk it for the biscuit there. Wouldn't have really been worthwhile, but maybe this Fire Giant could be a different situation.
Contesting a Gold Fury against Final Judgment, not usually one to strive for. If you're the one with that big hitting ultimate with that much range, then sure. Use the blink, try to get a stun so that you can allow your mid player to do it, but Wlfy was nowhere nearby, and those bombs take a little bit too long to get from the sky to its general location.
Baskin 6-1-4 this game as well. 9,000 player damage, showing that he can play a couple of different roles for himself if required here. Clearly, he doesn't necessarily need a keyboard to perform to the highest ability. As the Fire Giant now started up, Zhong is dealing with one and trying to keep fineokay busy, but Callus has snuck his way through, looking for cheeky steal.
Oh, Titans are going to be able to secure that one, and I think fineokay might have bit off more than he could chew. Here comes a couple stuns, a couple slows, the knockup from JeffHindla. Benji going to receive a shell as well. fineokay forced to retreat because Baskin is diving into tier 2 tower.
And he takes out 2 with one dunk of doom. Faeles will fall to Funballer, and in the jungle, the Manticores are going to drop all the way down. There's only Callus left standing, and Zyrhoes won't let that last for long.
I think this is game into, man. I don't even think that they're going to go for the right side Phoenix. I think that they have plenty of fire minions that they can go for the straight up end.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, Tolly. Titans are about to move on in 2 quick games up against the Manticores. Manticores just didn't stand a chance here today, Tolly.
Well, the fan favorited Titans making it to the finals. Hey. No surprise, but, you know, PBM's team, we'll see how they fare up.
And now the Titans get to go into the finals to take on a best of 5, and they're in good spirits, all happy, but that's kind of what pros do when they win, right, Tolly?
Oh, smile. Absolutely, especially Baskin, because you're constantly playing your mid lane position in scrims and practice and in ranked, and then now all of a sudden you're still having a great competitive game in an off-roll, and honestly, I think Baskin carried that game on this Robin.
I think JeffHindla is the one to really give the credit to overall for putting this draft together of this team. In come the Manticores, though, to give congratulations or commiserations to one another about how that went on. Obviously, didn't work out as well as they would have liked overall there.
Unfortunately not. Even despite getting the Athena and the Ratatoskr, Faeles and Callus couldn't really use that global synergy together to find the W. I think what really hurt them was the too much offensive mindset from Callus going for the Sunder. We saw what JeffHindla was able to do in game number 1 by going for the beads, and that defensive mindset really helps your competitive games.
It's a good point as well, because we were talking about maybe the Geb for Jeff, but hey, that Cerberus did a lot of work on this game. Some good early game ultimates coming out to really support him there. How are you feeling about the finals? Do you reckon we go to 5 games?
I don't think so. I think that Jeff's team should be able to win it 3-1 at worst.
Who do you guys think, though, at home deserves MVP for that game? I'm pretty sure you could easily pick the person with the most kills and the most player damage, and the one that got a double kill with his ultimate.
Oh yeah, Baskin. That was pretty nutty. He was tower diving tier 2 on the assassin Robin for so long, to the point that he managed to set himself up for the double kill with the 1 Mystic Crush. That's going to be in the highlight reel for sure.
Just not sure where it all went wrong, really, for the Manticores there, because they did so well for so long of being down, catching back up. Then there was a turning point.
Just too many 1v1s to the left side. Baskin with the flanking opportunities. Wlfy getting caught with his pants down when Benji was wrapping around from that mid lane. Titans doing a great job isolating their targets.
All went wrong for the Manticores, but the Titans take it down. Let's get to the Desto to break it down with a little bit more detail.
Thanks a lot, friends. Tom and Taco here. And yeah, the Titans coming through with the victory. Just 2 short games. Funball did very, very well. Always want to shout the guys out. But Baskin in that last one. The Ravana went ham.
The perfect pairing, I think, also between the Ravana and the Chernobog. I love that wherever you saw one, the other was right behind them. At first, it felt like Funballer was getting really choke-slammed down there in the duo lane. He was just constantly getting ganked by Faeles. That was the right around pressure I felt from Manticores, and that's exactly what you want to see, because when you're going to go for such an offensive-based draft and you don't want to play it just off of counter initiation, I can always appreciate watching it, just them getting down and dirty and jumping straight into the mix. But a Funballer, once he got a little bit of assistance out of Baskin, things completely 180'd into the favor of Titans yet again, and it did not slow down. It just felt like complete and total domination.
Yeah, I mean, just out of control stuff coming out from Baskin, what he was able to do, and it was, you know, that's the type of calculated loss, right? You look at your dual lane, you go, all right, Funball, just hang on, because I'm going to take care of things a little bit later. That's exactly what he did. The double kill with 1 ultimate, that was hot. That's why Baskins are MVP in the jungle on the Ravana. The man played solo, the man plays mid, and now here he's asked for 1 weekend to play jungle, and he does that.
Is there anything Baskin can't do? The answer is yes, but only if you smash the hell out of his keyboard first. And I think that it is not any stretch in the slightest to say that Baskin certainly has a very in-depth understanding of what he can and can't get away with. And in this instance, it just happened to be the cans the whole way through. I loved what Titans did. They kind of understand, because these are just players who are, in a sense, filling in for each other. They're filling in for their teams. You're kind of having to guesstimate a little bit here what the next move is going to be from your own teammates, because while they might all be very familiar with each other, because some of these guys have been playing together for years and against each other for years, it's not always as easy to just immediately jump right into the mix with a bunch of people you never teamed with before.
Yeah.
So I think that playing a little bit more selfishly, like what we saw from Jeff with things such as picking up beads on the support, can fare a little bit better,
For sure.
just because it doesn't introduce as much chaos into the environment.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Jeff because we have him standing by. JeffHindla and Benji on the interview. Let's talk to them.
Titans, congratulations on the 2-0 victory. Walk us through how you felt in that game, first of all, I guess.
I mean, honestly, Benji just farmed fineokay. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Free low for you, Benji, but we got to also talk about Baskin here. You know, you got Zyrhoes on one, Baskin on another. Playing Ravana, like, what was that experience like for you guys?
It was probably his first time playing the god in jungle in at least a year or two. So when he got in the game, he was like reading off his passive and stuff, trying to figure it out. But he made it work, so we're really proud of him.
So is there a specific game plan coming in today of like what the picks and bans were going to be, or was it kind of more on the fly between you guys? Like, have you practiced? Have you scrimmed? Have you put some preparation?
We have not practiced. We have not scrimmed. We talked for a little bit of time. There was some talking, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys look very comfortable right now. You guys are going up against the Manticores. Is there any player that you're going to try to focus out in this game, or just play your own style?
Probably just play our own style. We might focus Mike a bit because, you know, he has a tendency to feed, so, you know, just gotta exploit that.
And is that what the plan's going to be? Focus Mike and exploit it?
Yeah.
Okay, the last question, Jeff, before I let you guys go. You put this draft together. Are you happy with how it's gone so far? Is everything gone as you expected?
Honestly, it's going better than I expected. So at this point, we've overperformed. We're good.
Well, good luck in the finals today in the best of 5. We'll catch you very soon.
Thank you.